permission, if it's agreeable with all of you, I see that Mr. Ryerson's arrived. We could proceed to do the delegation if council would permit it, and we'll come back to planning matters after that. That's okay? Okay. Welcome. Come on up. Yeah. Welcome.
Thank you. Can you hear me all right? Okay, well, my name's Tom Ryerson, and I'm the father of 3 children and the grandfather of 2 boys and a girl. I have lived in the city of Woodstock for 25 years, living in houses on Alice Street, Nelson Street, and for the last 16 years, George Street. I am here this evening with a petition signed by myself and 107 of my neighbors who live on and by George Street. We are petitioning that the maximum speed on George Street be reduced from the current 50 kilometers an hour to a much calmer 40 kilometers per hour. Having the speed reduced by 10 kilometers per hour is very significant, and we as a neighborhood feel this is the key in beginning to make our streets safe again. For those who may not know, George Street runs from Huron Street to Wellington Street with no stop signs in between, which is a distance of 5 city blocks. I have lived on George Street since 2003, but it wasn't until the reconstruction of this roadway in the fall of 2013 that we've all seen a scary increase in speed from the people who use the road. They use it first to avoid slopes on Dundas Street, and secondly, to stop and shop at the beer store located at George and Beale. There doesn't seem to be any specific time of the day that people speed. It's very random, and they come from all age groups and walks of life as well. I've seen company vehicles, and all 3 of our Woodstock cab companies tear down George Street. I contacted UPS about one of their drivers, and they assured me that it wouldn't happen again. If I can get their license plate, I called the head office of the offending vehicle. A Woodstock company I contacted denied it was their vehicle speeding, even though I witnessed it. It only takes one speeding car to create a tragedy that could have been prevented. The city of Woodstock conducted a week-long survey using active sensors in September of 2018. Unfortunately, the sensors were placed on a very short section of George between Kent and Beale, but it still showed that 186 vehicles traveled between 60 and 80 kilometers per hour, while 7 traveled between 70 and 80 kilometers per hour, and 1 was even recorded doing 101, which is really not all that uncommon. This sampling is just the tip of the iceberg, and everyone who signed this petition has had their own experience with vehicles and extreme speed. When I was talking to our seniors who live in Kentwood Towers and Canterbury Towers, many told me their close calls they've had with cars while crossing the roadway. They cross at 2 different locations to access the bus depot, Foodland, and Dollarama. Statistics show that 14% of our population consists of seniors. However, when it comes to pedestrian fatalities involving vehicles, they represent 60% of those deaths. So our seniors are at serious risk. In 2016, I witnessed my neighbor's cat lose its life to a speeding pickup truck, and this spring I saw a dove struck and killed by a vehicle which was traveling much too fast as the bird dipped across the road. On my block alone live 7 children under the age of 10 whose parents are truly afraid to let them play in their own front yards because of the extreme speeds. They know a child's instinct to chase a ball across the road, and there's no way a speeding car could stop in time to avoid the worst. The parents of these young children were pleased that I was taking this initiative and were eager to support it. We, the residents of George Street, are very aware of the extreme speeds driven on our street, and we ask that council please support our heartfelt cause to have the maximum speed reduced from 50 kilometers per hour to 40 kilometers per hour, for the sake of our residents, cyclists, joggers, seniors, young children, and pets.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Questions of council? Councillor Tate.
Through the chair to the presenter, and I appreciate your concerns. I live on a street, there's no stop sign all the way from Devonshire to Ingersoll Ave. And we got a lot of streets like that, and they race up and down, but it's an enforcement issue. And I can't tell you how many streets we have. I used to live by the school, and it's 40, and they would whip around because there was no stop sign to come from the high school, come past the primary school, and come straight down my street. Somebody stepped out, they were dead. But and it was 40 kilometers. So it is an enforcement issue. I understand, and my street's narrow, so it's we've got a problem all over. But I honestly think it's an enforcement issue.
It is an enforcement issue, yes. And by getting the speed limit reduced to 40, at least if we can get a speed trap going and people are doing 80, that's twice the speed limit, we're going to lose some serious demerit points. And that's what we need to get across. Just send a message to people when they're zipping through town, stay away from our neighborhood.
But the problem is you have to have the police to do the speed trap.
Well,
So it is an enforcement
Yeah.
issue. And I don't think it'll make a difference if it's 40 or it's 50, because then we'll have the whole city, we'd have to make 40 and we still have the same problem.
Thank you. Further questions of council? Seeing none, thank you very much.
Right.
And I look for a motion. Who would like to make a motion on the delegation? Councillor Lauder,
I'll move that Woodstock City Council refer the request for a reduction in the speed limit on George Street to staff for a report.
thank you. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Tate. You've heard the motion. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Carried. Thank you very much. And we'll go back to planning applications. So our next application is